What up, JD? Welcome to the stream. How we feeling today? We're just setting up some last minute things. Setting up some last minute things. How is everybody doing today? It's party time, people. It's party time. It's party time. Soundtrack, Harris Heller, Stream Beats. If you're on the vertical, you can see the screen right now. We'll go ahead and end that. How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Man, we're just gonna be sitting here chilling. All right. We had a great week. Let me tell you something. We got some updates and some stuff that I want to go over. And I have some videos that I want to watch. I have saved a compilation, a whole playlist of videos. We're not gonna get to every single one, but there's some things in here that I want to watch and cover and talk about. They're things that I like, and who knows where we'll go next. I'm excited. You know, this is my first actual kind of like stream back, and we're multi-streaming, people. We're three different streams are happening right now. You have the main, which is YouTube. You have the YouTube full screen live stream. The full screen live stream, so you're not cramped in this little box. We have the vertical live stream going on right now on YouTube. So while you're swiping on shorts, I might pop up. And if I do pop up, give us a little hi. Hey, how you doing? Would love to hear from you. And then lastly, we are also live on the worst platform. We're also live on Twitch. I'm testing some things out. I want to see if we're going to do more Twitch, YouTube, maybe some Twitch, YouTube, Rumble. I don't know. I've streamed on there once or twice. Maybe do some Twitch stream, like Twitch, YouTube, Kick. I don't know. We'll just have to see where things lead us. But as the title of the stream indicates, Goofy is what Goofy does. All right. We have some updates on some things. I have a lot of videos I want to get to that were posted today. A little like past videos that I want to get to. But I just think these are very interesting topics that I want to cover. But if you're watching on Twitch, let me tell you something. I can't control the ads. If you come over to YouTube, there's not gonna be that many ads. I'm just gonna let you know. So, and don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, comment. It helps with engagement. Even if you don't subscribe or follow, give us a comment. It helps with it pushes us more. We're just about having fun. That's all it's about. But I want to get into one of our first things real quick. But first, I need to do something real quick. Make sure my screen is all right. Cool, we're good. I want to tweet something. forgot my caps lock is. We're gonna go over and share the stream. I hope everybody's week is going great. My week was pretty good. I got a majority of my stuff unpacked, which is really nice. I won't lie. It's really nice. Why can I not? Alright, I guess I'm going to have to open up each one. But I'm having a good time. I'm having a great time, honestly. I've been trying to find some new shows to watch. I've been trying to find some new shows to watch. What is that? Why is my thing so nasally? Hello, hello. Interesting. I don't know. I was like, that sounded really weird, honestly. Why did I exit out of that? Do I want to do that one or do I want to do the full screen? Yeah, it's the full screen. But, all right. We got the links sent out. We're checking things. I'm very excited. Very pumped. Elated. Could it be because of the noise suppression? Let's hear this. Hello, hello. Let's hear this. Hello, hello. See, that one sounds fine. See, that one sounds fine. All right, testing this one. All right, testing this one. Okay, so it is the noise cancellation. Okay, so it is the noise cancellation. I don't like that. Okay, mute you. All right, so let's. What happens if I just don't have it on? Very interesting to me. Hang on. Testing, testing. Interesting. I think the other one sounded better, which is kind of funny. Okay, whatever. It might just be because of the playback. I've never really noticed that before. I was like, oh, okay, wow. Why do I sound so like weird? But it could be just playback, honestly. Um, but all right. So a lot of things have been happening. People, lots of things. I want to talk about something interesting. Um, so who has knowledge of the Hassan Piker? Should we get the Hassan Piker, or do we get into? I have a long video that I've been wanting to watch. It's an hour 3 minutes. We could end on that one. Um, we got a few videos here that I've been wanting to watch. We got, are older games better, or is it just nostalgia? That's a very interesting one because I've been kind of stuck in that area. We have Logan Paul's reality show is worse than you can imagine. Logan Paul's new show, and I haven't watched it, but I like watching people's reviews of it. Pathetic streamer has completely lost his mind. This is about Asant Piker. The future of VFX is here, and it's lazy. That's probably. We need to talk about this. This is about the Captain America Black Panther game that I believe got canceled. Multiverses: How Not to Save a Game. It's about multiverses. They destroyed a beloved developer with a $200 million flop, and it's about the Unalive Squad, the sewer slide squad game that came out that was just atrocious. Breaking: Avengers Doom Today and Secret Wars delayed, but for a good reason. It's something that I do want to watch. Okay, but cozy game influencers are literally the worst. I don't know anything about this. This was on my recommended, and sounded very interesting because I know a few cozy streamers and creators, and they're not the worst. The death of YouTube originals. Do you guys remember YouTube originals, or is it just me? Because I remember like watching um like shows. Like there's a I was watching them the other night. It was like this zombie show that was really cool. Ubisoft lost money, now they're cutting deep. Tencent just forced Ubisoft to hit the panic button. It's bad. The most important movie of the 21st century. This one's about, get this. This video is an hour 3 minutes long about Speed Racer, the movie. I think I really want to watch it. There. Sorry, I thought I had it up. Yeah, the most important movie of the 21st century. Um, why is that up? There we go. Gen Z soft life, redefining work or avoiding it. That's one that I'm pretty vocal in, honestly. People don't want to work right now. Rockstar patents for GTA 6 are kind of wild. But interesting title there. I was talking to a coworker about this. Are MMOs dying, or are we just expecting too much? We noticed that there's not a lot of good MMOs. All of them are like older games now. Yeah, Bungie's so cooked. This one's I was very interested in. I think Bungie's gonna go down. This is a Moist Critical video. We're cooked. I think this is about AI taking over streaming. The Amaranth situation is disgusting. I don't know anything about this. You know what? You know what we can talk about? Let me actually go in and start recording this because I want to make a video about this. Okay, so I really wanted to talk about this. Let's get into this actually. You know what? Before I do that, let's do this. There we go. Now that's not bothering me anymore. So I want to talk about Markiplier's movie, um, Iron Lung. Um, does anybody remember this like at all? Markiplier was set to is set right to make a movie, Iron Lung, and it's based off the video game, the horror game, Iron Lung. Never played it, but I have watched many videos on it. Um, and he releases this trailer. Let's watch the trailer. This was released 1 year, October 14th, 2023. It's almost 2 years ago, and still no movie. And still no movie. Let's remember.
This is not an expedition. It's an execution. And they put you in here. They don't want you to return. And even if you do, and even if they keep their promises, what freedom waits for you?
Is that voice Cryotic? Do you guys remember Cryotic? Anyways,
Few dying ships in a sea of dead stars. If there is still hope, it lies beyond the veil. Hope in this void is as illusionary as the starlight. I will choose to breathe my last here, at the bottom of an ocean.
like,
Unseen,
really
unheard,
amazing trailer.
uncontrolled.
Teaser trailer, I'd say.
They will get their execution. I will get my freedom.
Iron Lung. So yeah, like Markiplier releases this trailer, right? And nothing. I am kind of curious about how this game, like, this was so anticipated. So I did some research on it. Let me pull up Letterbox real quick. Check this out. So originally it had what not Iron Lunch. Man, there's so many ads on this site. Okay. So originally, right, it had the runtime on here. And it had on the tab, it had a release. Well, since then, the release is gone. Right? And the runtime is gone. Leading some people to think, oh, this is even more delayed. So people are just confused. And I'm really interested about this because I remember being hyped about this. I was like, oh, because I think around this time, Pyrocynical released the video, like the whole deep dive into Iron Lung. And I started like diving deep into the gameplay and, researching it. And it seemed really cool. But then nowhere. It went nowhere. It's about to be 2 years and the movie's not even out. Not even an update, not a trailer, like a second trailer. Nothing. And so I simply think this movie is not going to happen. But what do I know? It's not like I've released 7 films. Yeah. Watch my new movie, by the way. Link in the description. But yeah, typically if it takes 2 years after the trailer release and hyping people up, because now you're losing the hype, honestly. And I don't think this movie's gonna happen. Because I remember having this, he said it was gonna be this big theatrical release, and so I watched a video that was last year about Letterbox and how basically they said, oh, it's going to digital now, which I think it's only gonna be released to like YouTube or something. Which that's fine, but when's the movie coming out? And like, there's nothing, nothing. Let's see the description. The second trailer for Iron Lung movie coming soon to theaters. Coming soon to theaters. Movie film based off the 22 horror game by David last name. This guy's been making some TikToks. Let's go to the comments. Let's go to newest. All right. Make sure. Sadly, I highly doubt this film will be released at all, let alone even exist now. Yep, I agree. Hey, these are the lines from the piece of paper he reads. Exactly. Play by that. And what is the release date? Yeah, like people are starting to doubt it too. I mean, some people are still hyped. I'm so hyped for this movie. So when is the movie coming out, bruh? Guys, isn't it out or something? No, it's not out yet. Tomorrow, button. Could you imagine if it dropped tomorrow? Yeah, so I have no idea. I don't think the movie's coming out anytime soon. I seriously don't think. But yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about real quick. Because I just think it's weird. I think it's weird that Iron Lung hasn't been out yet. What else is happening? What else is happening in this space? GTA Gone Woke. That was like that's a later video, honestly. I think it's bonkers, honestly. Absolutely bonkers. What should we watch next? Let's go into let's see why Avengers got delayed.
Everybody, welcome to the Cosmic Wonder. Well, unfortunately, Marvel Studios has officially delayed Avengers Doomsday and in turn Avengers Secret Wars. They have also seriously adjusted their release date schedule, removing some dates from their calendar but positioning other movies in really good slots now. And this actually changes everything for Spider-Man.
Well, I think seriously, I think why it was delayed because it was coming out in May, and he's probably gonna say something about this, but it's going to December. I think it's so we can get Spider-Man and Doomsday because originally they were sitting here saying, "Oh, Spider-Man's not going to be in Doomsday," and they saw the public roar against that. They were like, what? How can you not have Spider-Man in the Avengers movie?" Which makes sense because now he's street level. So I kind of get it, but you know how these Marvel fans be, Marvel wants money, and so what do you expect?
Brand New Day, and Spider-Man being in Avengers Doomsday. So although this is kind of bad news, of course, we have to wait longer to get Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, I do think there is a lot of good to come out of this change. If you've been following our videos and keeping up with the channel, then you know that I think when Marvel Studios decides to delay projects, it's not always a bad thing, but can be a really good thing. And of course, we'll break it down in this video, but let's go over this report from Variety announcing the delays and giving us our new release dates. The title of it reads, Avengers delayed. Marvel pushes Doomsday and Secret Wars to December 2026 and 2027. It continues, the Avengers will need a few more months to assemble. Disney has delayed the release of Marvel Studios' upcoming team-up feature, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Doomsday is now set to debut on December 18th, 2026, moving about 7 months off of its originally slated date of May 1st, 2026. So this is obviously very unfortunate. We're going to have to wait 7 more months to get Avengers Doomsday, and in turn, this does push back Secret Wars as well.
Aren't we getting doesn't that mean now that we're getting GTA 6 now first? Yeah. That means we'll get GTA 6 before Avengers. That's so funny. GTA 6 comes out in May 2026 next year. Hey, what's funny? Here's something funny. GTA was supposed to drop this month. GTA 6. I think it's so funny. I think it's so funny that we were supposed to drop a new GTA game this month. Wasn't Kang Dynasty supposed to come out too? Kang Dynasty. Yeah. Kang Dynasty would have been already out. It probably would have been on Disney Plus by now. Wow. May 2nd, 2025, King Dynasty. Wow. That's so funny to me, honestly. All right.
Get into that. But unfortunately, this was kind of suspected because Marvel Studios was set to begin filming at a certain time, and when that time came, they hadn't begun filming. In fact, it would be several weeks later until we even started to see some set designs appear. Now, we have seen photos of the Avengers cast, some of them all together, so we know they are there on set, but clearly they have run into some delays, and I think I might know what some of those delays are. And we'll get into that, but let's talk about Secret Wars. The article continues and says, to match the follow-up, Avengers Secret Wars is moving its release date to December 17th of 2027 after previously being set for May 7th of 2027. So both
only like 7 months
have essentially been delayed by 7 months each. The article continues, Disney announced both Avengers delays Thursday afternoon, today, alongside a sweeping reorganization of its coming theatrical slate. Notably, the new calendar saw the studio remove several unannounced Marvel titles off of its calendar. The date of February 13th, 2026, previously slotted for an untitled Marvel project, has been removed from the schedule. Meanwhile, the dates of November 6th, 2026 and November 5th, 2027, also both previously set for untitled Marvel features, have been amended to simply Untitled Disney films. So no longer Untitled Marvel, but Disney now. They state, with those changes, Avengers Doomsday and Sony's Spider-Man Brand New Day are now...
So that just pretty much just verifies that those two coming out in November were not going to be Spider-Man movies. Because I think, personally, I do think that the one that just got strapped, what was it? So the one that was coming out in February, I seriously think that was going to be a Blade. I think that was going to be a Blade movie. And, well, look what's happening with Blade. Nothing. 100%. I think that was going to be Blade or some new hero that it's kind of too late now to introduce because we are releasing Avengers now, you know, we got new Avengers and shit. But I do think that was going to be the Blade movie. I do. 100%.
Disney films. So no longer Untitled Marvel. But
So yeah, and the untitled Disney films coming out in November, clearly were not Spider-Man movies because they're so so set apart that they could be sequels to Spider-Man Brand New Day. It could also be Fantastic Four sequels. I do think that one of them could have been Thor 5. Because I do know that we're supposed to be getting another Thor movie. If I'm not wrong, which would be awesome because they need to redeem that character so much. But I think the February one was going to be Blade. And it's kind of funny that's so close to Valentine's Day. But yeah, I think that was going to be Blade. I also think that these November ones were going to be sequels, or maybe even I think honestly they're going to be sequels to other movies. So yeah,
Disney now. They state, with those changes, Avengers Doomsday and Sony's Spider-Man Brand New Day are now the only Marvel Cinematic Universe entries slated to hit theaters in 2026. Additionally, the July 31st, 2026 release of the fourth Tom Holland Spider-Man entry now precedes the release of Doomsday. And this is huge, and this is a part of the reason that I thought the delay might happen. Because to be honest, this makes a lot more sense. The script for Spider-Man Brand New Day has gone through a lot of different changes, and one of the big reasons that it went through so many different changes is because while originally it was supposed to come out before Avengers Doomsday due to scheduling, they had to move it to release after Avengers Doomsday, which severely affected the script because now in the MCU, in the timeline, Spider-Man Brand New Day would take place after Avengers Doomsday, which in turn would have to make Spider-Man Brand New Day a pretty big multiversal film, assuming that Doctor Doom wins at the end of Avengers Doomsday, and the multiverse either starts to be destroyed and everything starts to collapse, or it does completely get destroyed and we end up on Battleworld, which we had heard was Marvel Studios' plans to have everything that takes place between Doomsday and Secret Wars be set on Battleworld, which basically gave them a problem for Spider-Man Brand New Day. What was once supposed to be a pretty grounded and street-level film, all of a sudden had to be a pretty big multiversal film, which we heard that's what Sony wanted, but Marvel Studios wanted the grounded film. Then we started to hear that...
Yeah, because Marvel wanted it to be street-level, which they should. I think Spider-Man needs to be a street-level character, and I think that's why before Doomsday, let that movie kind of get the things rolling, you know? I mean, Thunderbolts has been out for a while now. We kind of saw the post-credit scene with Fantastic Four coming in. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie already, good lord, it's been like 2 months. But Fantastic Four, that kind of sets the stepping stone in. Fantastic Four, I think, will lead into Doomsday more, but I think that will lead more into Doomsday for the Avengers side of things. Spider-Man Brand New Day, I think, will lead more into Doomsday on the street level. So I think, honestly, you're going to see POVs from Spider-Man, obviously. You're going to see from Daredevil. I mean, it's been confirmed Jessica Jones is coming back for season 2 of Born Again. Mike Coulter and Finn Jones, I believe that's their names, who played Luke Cage and Iron Fist, are also in New York currently right now. They have been spotted, leading speculations to that they are filming for Daredevil season 2 as well. So I think, honestly, we're going to see the main event. So the Avengers, the new Avengers, Fantastic Four. I do think we're going to get an X-Men movie eventually. And then the Street Avengers, or whatever they're going by now. And I think all of them are going to be connected into Secret Wars, and that's where we're going to get that movie from. That's my prediction. I could be completely wrong, but I think it'd be really cool.
Spider-Man Brand New Day might be like Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's a movie that takes place after Avengers Doomsday, but in the events of the MCU's timeline, they'll basically show us what is happening with Spider-Man before and during the events of Avengers Doomsday, with the ending and or post-credit scene show us how he gets involved with Avengers Secret Wars. So not the most ideal situation. Plus, this seemingly made it kind of hard for Spider-Man to appear in Avengers Doomsday. And considering how Spider-Man just in general is one of the most popular characters, if not the most popular character of all time for superheroes, Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU is one of the major players. So it would make sense that Marvel Studios would want him in Avengers Doomsday. And the last we heard, they were actually working out a contract with Tom Holland to appear in Avengers Doomsday. But again, the story of Spider-Man Brand New Day was severely affected by Brand New Day coming out before Avengers Doomsday. So now we get to the delays. Not only does this decision to push Doomsday back by 7 months and Secret Wars back by 7 months, not only does it make Spider-Man Brand New Day come out before Avengers Doomsday, to where that cleans up the story to where they can do whatever they want with it now and not be pigeonholed, but it also gives Marvel Studios more time to work on Avengers Doomsday and
Yeah.
to work on Avengers Secret Wars. And this, to me, is typically a really good thing. Just think about the cast that they announced for Avengers Doomsday so far. It's already massive, and they confirmed that there are more cast members to be announced. It's gonna get even bigger. Kevin Feige already stated that in this film, we're going to have the Avengers, and now we know there's 2 Avengers teams, the new Avengers, who are the Thunderbolts, and then Sam Wilson's Avengers team. So the new Avengers, the Thunderbolts, the Wakandans Kevin Feige
Yep.
said are showing up, the Fantastic Four are gonna be in our universe pretty soon, and then you have the original X-Men. That's already massive. This is a film, and Avengers Secret Wars as well, that needs time. It needs care. And
I
it's
agree.
definitely not something that can be rushed. And
I
we
would
actually
100%
didn't
agree.
know too long ago from
This is going to be the biggest movie of the year, I think. It comes out at the end of the year, and it's going to be I think this is going to be the movie. I think this is, we had Endgame, that was Infinity War, that just blew our minds. And I think we need time to set up. This is my big concern with Doctor Doom. I wanted Doctor Doom. Trust me, I did. But you're telling me from Doomsday, right? Until Doomsday comes out, we have Thunderbolts. Then after Thunderbolts, we have Fantastic Four. After Fantastic Four, we're going to have Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday. We need to set up Doctor Doom. I 100% think we are speeding Doctor Doom in, and we need to introduce him as a main threat. I think that's why Kang failed, was because we kind of just introduced him and then immediately got rid of him. Ant-Man was the one that got rid of Kang. Are you kidding me? So I really do think that they need this time, because are they going to introduce Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four? It's not going to be Brand New Day. So it has to be Doomsday, where we kind of meet this new threat. And I think this movie is going to be honestly, it's going to be about 3 hours long or more. And then comes Secret Wars. That's where our threat of Doctor Doom comes in. Because I don't really think we're going to get a big battle like we did in Endgame. There's no way. You can't repeat that. But I think, honestly, with this one, you got to set up Doctor Doom a little bit more.
insider Daniel RPK that the Russo brothers and Stephen McFeely weren't completely done writing the script. There are still some things that they were trying to figure out or make connect better or just make better in general. And again, that's always a good thing, getting something better than what's already there. So this is good. It gives them more time to focus on making Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars great. And it also, in turn, gives them more time to work on the new X-Men film, which we know is coming pretty quickly after Avengers Secret Wars. But it seems like one of the dates that was removed could have been for the new X-Men movie. Most likely that November 5th slot that was moved.
I 100% believe that. Yeah, that could be it. I think X-Men was supposed to be that November. That was one of those November slots. But I think they're going to postpone it to after Secret Wars to start this new world of characters. Because, I think after this one, I think all the Avengers are gonna, retire basically. So let's have the X-Men now come in. And I think it's gonna be a brand new cast. I seriously think it's gonna be new people, and I'm okay with that.
moved for 2027. The November 6th slot for 2026, that still could very well be dedicated to a Marvel film, but perhaps Marvel had plans to do a project like Shang-Chi 2 or maybe even
Yeah.
the Scarlet Witch movie, who we recently heard a report from an insider that it might come out in 2028. So perhaps the Scarlet Witch movie was originally in that slot but has now been moved. Or maybe again a project like Shang-Chi has been moved as well. No doubt affected by the story that Spider-Man brand.
And also, how we have not had a Shang-Chi second. When did the first one come out? 2021. 2021 was when the first Shang-Chi came out. Dude, that movie was sick. Okay. Typically, when was Iron Man? Okay, so Iron Man 1 came out 2008. Then 2 years later, it was 2010, Iron Man 2. Then 3 years later was Iron Man 3. Okay. What about Thor? Ready? 2011. Then 2013. And then 4 years later, Ragnarok. And then 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 27 years later was Love and Thunder. Okay, what about Captain America, 2011, then 2014, then 2016, then 2025. Wow. Like roughly about 3 to 5 years. So I think the sequel to Shang-Chi is well deserved right now.
Day is going to tell, because that will affect Avengers Doomsday. The great news is Spider-Man Brand New Day can be whatever Marvel Studios wants it to be now. There are no restrictions, and this makes it to where Tom Holland can be in Avengers Doomsday much more easily because he is filming the Odyssey and basically has a lot going on with filming with Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday. It's a lot. But now with the schedule being a lot more accommodable for Tom Holland, he can appear in Doomsday and have a lot more screen time than originally would have been planned. So
Yeah.
although I do hate that we have to wait 7 more months for Avengers Doomsday, I do like that things kind of are working out a little bit better as far as stories and characters are concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at this. Oh, Doctor Strange. Oh yeah, Doctor Strange 3 was definitely going to be one of these movies. I think the missing pieces were, I think we were supposed to get, I think, you know what? Scrap my original thing. I don't think it was going to be Blade. No. I think it was Doctor Strange 3, Shang-Chi 2, and then X-Men. That's what my prediction is. 100%. That's what I think the order was originally going to be. And now, who knows, honestly. Who knows, honestly. Which would have been really cool. I would have loved to have that. But yeah. Okay. Very interesting. Great video. How are we doing? So here's the thing. Twitch is unstable right now. That's so funny to me. Meanwhile, on YouTube, connection excellent. That's so funny to me. I am going to be right back. I am going to oh, I don't even have a starting soon screen or BRB screen. I want to go start my oven real quick. because I need to eat. I'm hungry. But all right, let's. I'm gonna run an ad on Twitch. Um, and enjoy my background. It's gonna be like 5 seconds, honestly. All right. So I'm working on my background. I really like it. We got some neon signs. That's a Fallout one. Bucky's hat, a Batman thing. That's Alf. If you don't know what Alf is, you're weird. The Snorlax. Check this out. It's me. It's pretty cool. I like it. We got a Jeets action figure, a little weird thing, a sloth, Among Us. Whoa. Bigfoot hat. That's from one of my favorite videos ever made with the cryptozoology video. First camera ever bought. Love that thing. I still use it. Queen album. News of the World album. Great album. Grimace. Fallout. I love Fallout. If you don't know. Poe, which is a huge icon on my Twitch channel, and then a little arcade thing. I'm still working on it. If you notice, I have 2 empty more shelves of things I gotta put there, and the last one is covered all the time, so I don't really. It's like laptops and stuff. And then on this wall, we're gonna be putting up my movie poster, some other albums that I like, and then the green screen right here. We're gonna be doing a lot of cool new videos. Very excited about it. Very excited. So I really want to get into what my oven is preheating. I think this will be the last video we talk about. And then we're going to head out. My camera is going crazy. All right. Which one do we watch? Which one do we want to watch? Which one do we want to watch? We can take this one. That one out. You can take Iron Lung out. Do we want Rockstar? What do we do? What do we do here? Do you go for like a longer one? Or do we watch a shorter one? What's up? What's up? What's up? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Very shocked that you're watching the vertical one. Very shocked that you're watching the vertical one over the main one. Is that the one that just popped up for you? Janky, let me tell you something. We are multi-streaming right now to 3 different places. See, senor, interesting. Interesting, that's the vertical one that popped up more. 3 different places. We're doing the vertical YouTube one. We're doing the full YouTube one, so you can see the full experience of what the actual stream looks like. And then we're also doing Twitch, which I don't know if it's gonna last on Twitch. But currently I'm deciding what video we are going to watch. We have Are Old Games Better, or is it just nostalgia? I'm leaning towards that one. I really want to get into that because I think new games kind of suck now. So that's probably our top contender. And plus the thumbnail is New Vegas. And I love New Vegas. The Logan Paul reality show is crazy. Which I think is a like what the I just lost my track of my train of thought. Reality show Logan Paul. I've heard it's terrible, and I want to see what this person has to say. We get some Hassan Piker news. I don't know if you've been keeping up with that. Guy is going crazy right now. The future of VFX is here, and it's lazy. I bet you it's gonna be talking about AI a lot, 100%. We need to talk about this. This is about the Captain America Black Panther game. That's also on the top of my list I want to watch. Multiverses, how not to save a game. Basically the downfall of Multiverses. I remember that game being like stupid popular, and now it's not even like talked about anymore. I know, so many options. These are like, I literally made this today because I kept getting these popped up in my feed, and I was like, oh, these are very interesting. I want to watch all of these. I'm leaning towards Are Older Games Better than, or is it just nostalgia? One, I think we're gonna watch this one. So, are older games better, or is it just nostalgia? Personally, I think they are better. But let's get into it.
Massively disappointing experience with Dragon Age the Veilguard, I decided to reinstall some of the older games in my Steam library and take a trip down memory lane. And it got me thinking about a sentiment I've seen expressed online a lot over the past few years, that video games have been consistently getting worse and that older games are just better. But is it just nostalgia or rose-tinted glasses that are creating a preference for games of the past, or have modern games actually been getting worse?
I'm playing Passport Out. I think it's the name. What is Passport? What is it? Passport Out. Game. It's like a 2D game. Are you like a painter or something? I'd like to have an image of it. Passport Out. Never heard of this. The Starving Artist. Interesting. Hey, what's up, Vile? So wow, first time chatter. Wow, that just shows you I don't stream on Twitch. Yes, you paint pictures for a living. Interesting. That sounds kind of fun. That sounds kind of fun. Vile, if you're still in the Twitch chat, how is the Twitch like feed? Like, how is it looking? I'm getting an update on my thing saying it's like unstable, which is so funny. Because on like YouTube and stuff, it's good. So if you're still there, let me know. I mean, it looks like a game that someone would play. I wouldn't personally play this game. It sounds fun. I think I remember watching PewDiePie play this game. If I'm not wrong. I think I remember that. But I've been diving deep into like older games. Like so much older games.
That's what we're going to explore.
Like this game looks awesome. Well, I don't even know what game he's playing. This is Stalker. This is the first one. I played the newer one. Didn't like it. Trust me, I made the saddest painting and everyone hates me. Oh my gosh. Not the saddest. Like this game looks awesome. I'm not even gonna lie.
This video. So without further ado, let's buckle up, grab some iced coffee, and dive right in. The first thing I want to consider when comparing modern games with older games is that there is a
New
clear
Vegas.
survivorship bias with the latter. When players return to games of the past, they only go to the best games from that era, while
Yeah.
good games or bad games are just completely forgotten. Meanwhile, we can easily recall all of the good and bad games that have come out in the past few years.
LOL, they criticize you as they walk by. I love that. That's something that I would legit do. I think I would honestly just like roast an artist. Like, dude, this was like shit. I think that's kind of funny. That's funny. And it's older. It's not like a newer game. But
Sure, there have been some great titles like Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, and Black Myth Wukong, but we've also seen colossal
Yeah.
flops like Forspoken, Immortals
Yep.
of Avium,
Yep.
Star Wars Outlaws,
Yep.
and Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
yeah, dude, I remember when those games came out. I was actually kind of hyped for Star Wars Outlaws. I was really hyped. And then I didn't play it, but I watched someone play it, as you do. And it looked awful. Like, I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. Who knows? Maybe if I downloaded it now and played it right now, maybe I like it. But my first experience of that game was not good. And it sucks. You know? I don't think I've actually like sat down and enjoyed a game, played it through, and actually enjoyed it since I think Fallout 4. You know? And I'll get into this later, but like I want to talk about Grand Theft Auto. I don't think I'll play the new one. I just have no appeal towards the new game. It's been like 10, 12 years. I just don't care. I really don't care about GTA anymore. The GTA 5 turned me off from GTA. And it sucks. I love GTA. Red Dead? If they make a Red Dead 3, oh, I'm downloading that. But nah. GTA is done. All right, back to this.
Rare titles like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and Star
Great
Wars
game.
Outlaws and show why older games are better. But we forget about the bad titles that came out in the past too. 10 years from now, people will be playing Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, and Cyberpunk 2077, but they'll completely forget about Forspoken and Immortals of Avium. Two of my favorite games, Mass Effect 2 and Fallout New Vegas, were released in 2010. So I
Jeez.
decided to see what were some of the slop games that came out that year. Does anyone remember Naughty
Oh,
Bear?
dude, Naughty
It's an
Bear.
Xbox 360 game released in June 2010 that has a 5 out of 10 user score on Metacritic. Or how about
No, you can't diss Naughty Bear. Okay, a Naughty Bear is sick. Do I own it? Hang on, I have to like. Yo, hold on. Yep. Dude. You can't diss Naughty Bear. You can't diss it. If you've played this game, if you've played Naughty Bear, you are a legend. Oh, I want to replay this so bad. If you have not played Naughty Bear, play this game. This is so fun. Yes, it's bad, but man, you can't sit here and yes, the Iron Man game does suck, but Naughty Bear is sick. You can't sit here and tell me that you hate that game. You simply cannot.
Movie and TV spin-off games like Iron Man 2
Yes.
and Prison Break: The Conspiracy.
I forgot about
No,
that.
Nobody remembers these games because they're too busy playing Red Dead Redemption, Mass Effect 2, Darksiders, or one of the many other hits from
Darksiders.
2010. So when we think about games from the past and compare them with newer releases, we're only thinking about the best games from that time period. Also, not every good game from the past still holds up well today. Oblivion used to be my favorite game of all time.
Oh, Oblivion's
Whenever
great.
I dive back into it today, I can't help but notice its many flaws. The copy-pasted caves and alien ruins, the derpy-looking NPCs, and the janky-ass combat are so much more apparent to me now than when I first experienced this game in 2006. It's hard to play Oblivion and enjoy it on the same level when I could be playing The Witcher 3 or Baldur's Gate 3 instead. This is not to say that Oblivion doesn't still have its charm, but the game doesn't quite hold up as well.
Okay, but like you gotta think about this too. Like, you can't compare Oblivion. Okay, Oblivion. When did that come out? 2006. And which game? Which Witcher?
Oblivion doesn't still have its charm, but the game doesn't quite hold up as well as later open-world RPGs that improved. It's hard to play Oblivion and enjoy it on the same level when I could be playing The Witcher 3.
Witcher 3. Okay, Oblivion, 2006. Witcher 3. Wild Hunt, 2015. Sorry, 2006, 2015. You can't compare those. Obviously, yeah, Witcher 3 is going to be way better looking than Oblivion. Obviously. Honest, you can... When did Skyrim come out? Skyrim. Why I spelled that so wrong. When did Skyrim come out? Skyrim came out in 2011. Honestly, you could probably get away with comparing Witcher 3 to Skyrim more than you could with Oblivion to Witcher. Obviously. But you can't compare that. You can't compare Oblivion to Witcher. Two very different.
Or Baldur's Gate 3 instead. This is not to say that Oblivion doesn't still have its charm, but the game doesn't quite hold up as well as later open-world RPGs that improved and iterated on the formula. That being said, I still prefer playing Oblivion over Starfield.
Agree.
One of the big reasons why players feel like older games are better than new ones is because we've witnessed the decline of many major AAA studios right before our very eyes. Bethesda, BioWare, and Ubisoft have all tanked their reputations by releasing subpar products compared to games they put out in the 2000s or early 2010s. Bethesda took the RPG world by storm with titles like Morrowind, Oblivion, Fallout 3, and Skyrim. Fallout 4 was also a smash hit despite its flaws, but their last two big releases were Fallout 76 and Starfield.
Brother, what's that?
BioWare was once king of the RPG genre with Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic,
Great
Mass
game.
Effect Trilogy, and Dragon Age. But their last three new releases were Mass Effect Andromeda, Anthem, and Dragon Age The Veilguard. All big flopperinos. Ubisoft put out
Flopperinos.
great games too, like the Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
Ezio trilogy and Far Cry 3. But they've seen a significant drop in quality in recent years with titles like Skull and Bones and Star Wars Outlaws. Also, a lot of these studios...
Was Skull and Bones really that bad? I remember when like that game was being like I wanted to play it. Ugh, really? Okay. Skull and Bones. Wasn't it supposed to be like it's a 3 out of 5, $20, 10, 6 out of 10? I mean, that's not bad. Is it like open world? Or are you only stuck in the boat? I mean, I don't think. I remember that game coming out, and like I was kind of interested in that game. Anyways,
have taken the edge out of their games as well. As video games became big business, large AAA studios started playing it safe with their games, opting to sand off the rough edges like dark subject matter or anything remotely controversial. For instance, in older Bethesda games, whenever you looted gear off of a dead NPC, those items would be visibly removed from the character model. So if you took an NPC's armor, they would be stripped down to their underwear. But taking the clothes off of a female character model is too toxic and leans into the male gaze, which is a little too risky for the corpos. So in Starfield, whenever you loot the armor off of a dead NPC, their clothes remain fully intact. In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, a game where you play as a Viking, if you kill more than a handful of civilians, you will get a game over. Because we all know Vikings were known for their kind nature and proclivity for sparing unarmed monks in the monasteries they pillaged. And when it comes to Dragon Age the Veilguard, all of the evil choices and potentially problematic elements have been removed from the game. Topics covered in previous Dragon Age games like slavery and blood magic are glossed over, and you can't even play as a blood mage in the Veilguard, unlike Origins and DA2. Hell, you can't even be mean to people in dialogue choices, because God forbid the player make any morally questionable or problematic decisions in the game. One of the most...
What? Are you kidding me? That's the thing. That's what I've been saying. Like, I honestly do believe gaming has gotten too nice. And, like, there's no more freedom in games. That's why older games are way better. It's not like, you know what? Yeah, it was more. You could do more. You can actually have a personality with your character. Like Fallout, for example. You can make an evil character, right? But I feel like in Starfield, you really couldn't. It's what the developer wants you to do, not what the game or the player wants to do. I think that's what it's happening.
Poignant lines from SkillUp's review on the Veilguard was that it feels like HR was in the room whenever they crafted the dialogue in the game.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Corporate safe approach to game development is rampant throughout the industry today. Of course, there are exceptions like Cyberpunk 2077 and Baldur's Gate 3, but a lot of modern AAA games are just playing it safe and end up being boring as a result.
Yeah.
And then we have the insertion of modern-day political
there we
viewpoints
go.
into video games, which is often done in a preachy or condescending way. Let's take Assassin's Creed Odyssey, for example.
Yep.
Assassin's Creed is a series where we dive into a simulation, experiencing the memories of fictional ancient heroes throughout history. It's a way for the player to immerse themselves in different periods of history and live out the power fantasy of being a badass assassin. In Assassin's Creed Odyssey, a game set in ancient Greece, Ubisoft wrote a villain character named Cleon, who was clearly based on Donald Trump. Cleon gave a speech proclaiming he would make Athens great again, and at one point Cassandra even refers to him as the Orange Man.
I will make Athens great again!
When I'm exploring the beautiful open
Oh
world
my gosh.
that Ubisoft created in Odyssey, the last thing I want to be thinking about is Donald Trump, or anything to do with IRL politics for that matter. For most people, video games are meant to be a form of entertainment and escapism.
Yes.
But many developers today see video games not merely as a form of artistic expression meant to entertain an audience, they see it as a vehicle to communicate their political ideals and teach the audience a lesson. When done poorly, which is often the case, these political insertions end up damaging the immersion of the overall experience and ultimately end up being counterproductive to the goals of convincing the audience of said message. Put simply, game devs are doing more damage to their own political causes by inserting these messages into their games in a poorly written way.
Yep.
This is not to say that politics...
And like, I've noticed that more and more, like, even like in character customization, like, what was that game where it wasn't, it wasn't male or female, it was option 1 or option 2. Like they couldn't even say the gender names. And like your character being non-binary and all that stuff. Like it's not an issue if that's what you identify as, but it's an issue when you keep shoving it down people's throats. That's how you lose the market. If you just make a normal game, like honestly, I have people who are more left-leaning who enjoy the older games because it's not depressing all the time. I've noticed that with modern politics, it's just getting more and more depressing every single freaking day. And then they're inserting that into their escapism. So you're not escaping anything. You're just being attached to it over and over again. So yeah, I can completely understand why. And that's part of the reason why I'm kind of leaning away from modern games is because it's just another form of politics spewing, and it's annoying.
Have to be strictly off limits for video games. Plenty of games will explore political and societal themes in their stories. But if the writing is bad, the player is more likely to reject your product than embrace your ideology, especially if they feel like you're talking down to them or insulting their intelligence. Over the weekend, I played Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl for the first time. And after slogging through a bunch of modern AAA slop this fall, this 2007 post-nuclear apocalyptic shooter was a breath of fresh air. The game doesn't try to shove a bunch of modern-day politics down your throat, and it doesn't feel like it was crafted in a corporate boardroom to be as mass market and inoffensive as possible. It just drops you into a world filled with radiation, mutants, bandits, and fun gameplay. It's a game that's meant to be entertaining, enjoyable, and fun, a concept that seems to be lost on many modern game developers.
Yes.
So are older games actually better, or are we just nostalgic? It's a mixture of both, but on average, older games are better than most of what's been released in the last couple of years. There are still a lot of great titles coming out today, games like Cyberpunk 2077, Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, Black Myth Wukong, Space Marine 2, Helldivers 2. There have been a lot of spectacular titles released in the last few years, and these games have stood out because they never forgot the primary purpose of video games, that they are meant to be enjoyed by the end user. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. I completely agree. And here's my take. I think older games are way better than current games. And you can sit here and you can say, well, older games don't look as good. Okay. I don't think quality actually matters. It's the overall the experience that matters. You know, I had way more fun playing Fallout New Vegas recently than I did playing, I don't even remember what games I played, new games. It's all just a way for these developers to shove down your throats a political message. And it's annoying. And it's killing it. I mean, look at Ubisoft, for example, man. They've ruined Assassin's Creed with them trying to be woke and everything. And it's not completely accurate with how things were back in the day. It's getting out of hand. So yeah, I don't think it's pure nostalgia. It could be playing like NES Genesis games. Yeah, nostalgia 100%. But playing 360 games back when like literally you can make a decision for yourself in an RPG game that can change the outcome of the story. Yeah, way better. All right. Well, I think it's getting close to dinner time, so I am going to end the stream. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I am going to head out. This was interesting. I had 3 forms of like places, and I'm testing things out. I'm getting the place together still. Eventually, we're going to be doing a lot of cooking stuff too. I'm excited about what's to come. But if you're new here, please consider following, subscribing, liking, commenting. Helps engagement. Sharing, please share. It'd be great if you did. We just have fun over here, honestly. We just had fun. I do a lot of gameplays too. I like to play games. I have a whole bunch of, I have a library of games that I want to play. I have a library, and I really want to play them. So we're gonna end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm heading out. Ow, I just hit myself in the headphones. That really, it didn't hurt. It just felt weird in my ear. But anyways, I'm out.